in my opinion, it's wrong for the sports, like NFL media and all of this, like the media, to be like, oh, the Lions, they don't have it when they look like the stronger team going into this game. My prediction for this game is, what is up, y'all? Pro Baller, back again with another video. Now, as we all know, the Lions, they're in the NFC Conference Championship game. The Lions, they just beat the Buccaneers in the divisional round. It was a really entertaining game. And they're going against the Niners, who barely beat the Packers at home. And according to that, you may think the Lions, they're favored to win this game because the Niners are the 1 seed. They were at home, and they almost lost to the 7 seed Packers. But the Lions are the underdogs going into this game. They are favored only by 25% by ESPN, and the Niners are favored by 7.5 on the spread. So the Lions, they are being disrespected, to say the least. The thing is, the problem I have with the ESPN and the Vegas like the spread, is the Niners, they barely beat the Packers. They barely beat the Packers. They did not look like the same team they did during the regular season. And the Lions, they're coming off 2 huge games at home. And the Niners have only played 1 game because of their bye week. So the Niners, they struggled a lot during that game. Deebo Samuel's injured. He was limited in practice on Thursday. This being made on Friday, so he was limited in practice on Thursday. Not sure if he's going to play today in practice, but as for the rest of the Niners players, they're really healthy, I will say. Nobody else really got injured during that game. So, but yeah, the Niners, they barely squeaked out a win against the Packers. But the thing is with the Lions, once again, I just feel like they're being disrespected. They got to win against the Buccaneers, who have a very good defense. The Buccaneers, they came out hot. They showed up, but the Lions just showed up more during that game. And they also beat the Rams with Stafford coming back to Ford Field against a very good offense. And the Lions' defense, as many know, is not that great. And the Lions, they came away with the win. They did what they had to do. But once again, just the Niners, I don't know, dude. Almost losing to the Packers at home in your first week of the playoffs is not a good sign, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong. The Niners are a very, very, very talented team. But they have a lot of issues. They do. Brock Purdy has not looked great recently. He almost threw 2 picks in that Packers game, but both of them I think were dropped. Deebo Samuel being injured hurts them a lot because Brock Purdy is 1-3 without Deebo Samuel. So yeah, it's not good for him at all. And then Dre Greenlaw, who is slightly injured. He does have an Achilles injury, but he's played in practice on Wednesday and Thursday. He came up big for them. 2 picks that changed the game for them. If he had not have even one of those picks, they would have lost that game, especially that the game ending interception. So Greenlaw, he did very good for them. But once again, they're very healthy. On the Lions side, though, the Lions do have a lot of injured players. Jonah Jackson did not play or did not participate in practice on Wednesday or Thursday with the knee injury. He got that in the Buccaneers game. Chase Lucas, who we don't really play, is an illness. Frank Ragnow, the best offensive lineman on our team, and he's honestly becoming one of my favorite players on the team. He did not play or participate on Wednesday or Thursday in practice, but I have a feeling he's still gonna play because the injury designation is ankle, toe, knee, back, and he's had that injury like that or designation for like as long as I can remember, probably like a year, maybe even 2. And then Khalif Raymond, he also is injured with a knee injury. He did not practice on Wednesday or Thursday as well. Hopefully he could get back in. And then Anzalone has been dealing with 3 cracked ribs.
Now stand aside, worthy adversary.
'Tis but a scratch.
A scratch? Your arm's off.
No, it isn't.
Well, what's that then?
I've heard worse.
You liar.
Come on, you pansy.
So shout out to Anzalone, man. he is honestly another player who's going to become one of my favorite players on the team, just because he shows grit. Like sometimes he will not like do the smartest stuff, but he has gotten a lot better in my opinion. So, but I think he will play as well. And then Laporta was limited in practice along with Josh Reynolds. So I think Anzalone, Laporta, and Reynolds will all play in this game along with James Houston, who the alligator. If you know, I'm gonna pop up some about the death roll real quick.
Pressure coming, sacked at the 32-yard line.
The alligator will chomp on their prey and then just twist, and that's what James Houston does. He goes in and then gets the angle and just starts rolling. He just starts to try to bring him down. So that's why I call him the alligator, James Houston, the death roll. But yeah. So another thing, I just want to talk about the keys to victory of how the Lions can win this game. So the Lions, they're gonna have to pressure Brock Purdy early. Brock Purdy does not do that well under pressure. Don't get me wrong, he can do very good outside of the pocket. He's an improviser in that way. He just do things outside the pocket, but it's not like super common for him to make those big plays outside the pocket. So if we can pressure him, get him a little nervous early on in the game. They have to do it very early on in the game. If they can do it early on, I think that'll have an effect on him throughout the game. He'll be very nervous. He'll maybe make occasional couple bad throws. Maybe they'll result in a pick, or just a big incompletion. So yeah, they're gonna have to pressure Brock Purdy very early on. They could pressure him later on. I'm sure it'd still have an effect on him, but having it very early on would be super beneficial towards the Lions, and is honestly a huge key to them getting this win in San Fran. Now, the second key for the Lions to win against the 49ers is to get the run game going. Last game, they did not get the run game going at all. Jahmyr Gibbs had a very big run for a touchdown, so he actually did fairly well. But David Montgomery didn't do much. He almost actually cost us the game with a tripping penalty, which gave the Buccaneers the ball back, and it was not good. But David Montgomery, he's been good all year. David Montgomery's been good all year, so I can't really get too mad at him. But the Lions, they just have to get the run game going, because the 49ers, they have a very good front seven. They can get pressure very easily. But in my opinion, their run defense is not the best. It's very, like, it's high ranked, but I've seen a lot of games, like, where they go against, like, very good running backs and they struggle. Like, not a very good running back, for instance, but, like, Joe Mixon is a pretty solid running back. He's kind of had a little bit of a bounce back year, but he absolutely cooked the Niners. And I've noticed something with the Niners. They can defend, like, just, like, pure running backs. But if they try to defend like a dual threat like Gibbs, they struggle immensely. So I think Gibbs is gonna be the one to have a big game in this game. I think he will, and I hope he does, because that is another key. It's just the Lions just got to get the running game going. And they're gonna do that primarily through Gibbs. They could probably get the short yardage through Mati, or maybe Kabinda could come in and get a couple 4th and 1s or 3rd and 1s. But they're just gonna have to get the running game going to get this win. Now, the third key for the Lions to get this victory over San Francisco is to protect Jared Goff. Now, Goff, he did very good last game. He had like maybe one hiccup play, but it is what it is. Every quarterback has them, like, occasionally. He did pretty solid against the Rams as well. He had a very good game. So he's been doing very good this playoffs. So I'm proud of him. Once again, I'm gonna make a whole apology video to Goff, because I said a lot of mean things about Goff as a player, not as a person. I think he's a great person. I always have thought he's a great person. He's done a lot for communities and charities, but I just didn't think he was the best quarterback for a pretty long time. But I will say this season he's kind of brought me back in, and towards the end of last season. But yeah, they're gonna have to protect Jared Goff. Because Goff, don't get me wrong, sometimes he can move out of the pocket, but it's very rare. He's mainly a pocket passer, and he does very well when he has time. He's almost unstoppable when he has time in the pocket and can make the right reads I mean, he almost, like, when he's, okay, this is kind of, like, crazy, but when he's in the pocket, like, he almost doesn't, like, throw picks. Like, unless he's, like, gets a little bit overconfident, but Goff, he does very well in the pocket when he has time. So Goff, they're going to have to protect Jared Goff, especially against that Niners front seven with guys like Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, Chase Young. They're going to have to be, the O-line's going to have to be on top of their game, and I'm worried about Taylor Decker, to say the least, because he has not been the best this year. Let's just say that. Now, the fourth key for the Lions to win in San Francisco against San Francisco is to stop CMC, otherwise known as Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey has been the best running back this entire season. He is #1 ranked, I think, in rushing and receiving yards for a running back, so he has been very good. He has been a key part of their offense. He has brought them a lot of wins. He honestly won them the game last week. Pretty much Greenlaw did, but he was another huge part of that win. When Brock Purdy couldn't get it going, he was there to pick up the slack. So I think this is honestly one of the biggest keys to victory for the Lions. If they can stop CMC or just limit him to, like, let's say maybe 70 rushing yards or 80 rushing yards with like 20 or 30 receiving, and maybe like no touchdowns or 1 touchdown, they could win this game. They could definitely win this game. If CMC is shut down, just completely stopped, if they tackle him early in the backfield on the pass plays, like the screens, the bubble screens, whatever, they can definitely win this game. So they're going to have to stop CMC. Don't get me wrong, if CMC still has a good game, I think the Lions could still win, but it would be difficult. So I think this is honestly one of the biggest keys to the Lions' victory is stopping Christian McCaffrey and just limiting him to like very few yards. Now the last key for the Lions to get the dub against San Francisco is to chew the clock. They're going to have to chew the clock because this Niners offense has a lot of weapons. They got guys like Deebo Samuel, although he may not play because he is injured, but he most likely will play, in my opinion. Brock Purdy, pretty solid. Trent Williams, their left tackle, is he's one of the best offensive linemen in the league. CMC, who I just talked about, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, they're almost like the Lions in the sense where they have like so many weapons, because the Lions got Goff, Gibbs, the great O-line, Monty, Amon-Ra, J-Mo, Josh Reynolds. Like, they got all these guys. Laporta. They got so many guys, man. So the Lions, they're just going to have to chew the clock, stop the Niners from having like a lot of like time of possession. They're just going to have to limit them to like, just honestly, they're going to have to, I will say another thing, Dan Campbell has to be really good with his clock management. He can't do anything like stupid timeouts or like Ben Johnson getting cocky. That's another thing. Ben Johnson can't get cocky, but because we know he does stupid stuff at times. But the Lions, they're just gonna have to chew the clock when they have the ball in the offense, run the ball, do a couple like short passes, just keep that clock rolling and keep it out of CMC, Purdy's hands, just the Niners offense in general, because they are dangerous. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I want to talk about. The Lions, they are being disrespected by ESPN, the predictor, at least, maybe not ESPN, but the predictor for ESPN, and Vegas. Vegas has them losing by over 7.5. So I don't know. I think, in my opinion, it's wrong for the like sports, like NFL media and all of this, like the media, to be like, oh, the Lions, they don't have it, when they look like the stronger team going into this game. The Niners, once again, struggled against the Packers at home with a bye week, while the Packers just came off a win against the Cowboys, who, I mean, the Cowboys, they're frauds, but anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed. My prediction for this game is the Detroit Lions will win 33-27. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. We got the stream coming up very soon on Sunday. And we got a Jared Goff apology video coming out soon. And yeah, I mean, once again though, I was going to say this. if the Lions win this game, this gone. Mustache gone. I will shave the mustache. But if they lose, I'm just not going to shave it. I'll just keep it. But if the Lions win, I will sacrifice my mustache for the Super Bowl to see if they can win it. But, or hopefully they will win. Because if I shave the mustache and after they win and they don't win the Super Bowl, I'll be kind of mad. But, otherwise, I mean, it's been a great season so far. I hope the Lions can keep it going this Sunday, and I hope they can beat the Niners in San Francisco. I hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll see y'all later.